So before I get to my actual portfolio update, I will quickly review the usual suspects. So the DXY, gold, silver, the miners, and I'm enlarging the portfolio that my portfolio is what it is, but I'm sort of covering more miners due to subscriber requests. And actually because I've added one or two new miners, so there'll be a few extra ones, but it's all time stamped for you guys out there who want to just quickly rush to the stocks that I cover that interest you. So starting off with the DXY, here we're kind of, I don't want to say middle of the range, but to me, I see resistance. Well, first of all, right here, 104.25-ish, it's the high we've hit 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times possibly. But then here, this area here, 104.5, I see that as resistance. Close above that, and then we can start venturing maybe up till here, 105.5. I think we'll go straight past 105, but I don't know if we'll get there. Also, we may just hover here, fail at the 104.2, and then come all the way back down to 102.5, which would be great because it closed below that. We start venturing to new lows. I think the DXY, the highs could be in. Remember the pause in the rate hikes, maybe even negative rates. Well, sorry, not negative rates, but cut in rates may start to get priced in. I'm of the opinion that they will stop raising rates and they're not going to cut for months at least. But even if they cut, we still have very, very high rates. And I actually think that the dollar going down, I think it will go lower, will mean inflation picks up. And then you've got this sort of vicious cycle where, inflation is picking up, maybe they're going to raise rates. And, then you may start seeing the dollar go up with yields. But eventually, what are they going to do? They're not going to raise rates that much more. Inflation is higher than the interest rate, and therefore inflation wins, therefore precious metals go up overall. Anyway, with that said, and by the way, remember that this big line in the sand here, look at this triple top if you want, 152, the US dollar Japanese yen. Now the Bank of Japan is going positive. It's the last central bank to go positive in yields, and that is a bit of a headwind for the dollar also. So maybe that will also add to the resistance in the DXY, if it does pick up steam. Anyway, let's get to gold, silver, and then finally the miners. So gold, first of all, yes, we came down. It's not that dramatic. This drop scares me less than all the others. Number one, we made a new high. Number two, we came from all the way down here to make that new high. So you can respect a bit of a drop. It's not ready yet, but it's coming. First of all, it's done. It made the new high for sure, but it just needs time to sort of curl and retrace. We did close, first of all, the month above 2000, first time ever, but we're sort of 1.5 weeks into the next month. We closed the week above 2000. That's nice. Let's just see if we can curl. The next support for me is down here, 1940-ish. It could go as low as 1930. It could go as high, if you will, 1950, big round number, also resistance over here and somewhat support down here. So I'm going to say roughly 1940, 1935, 1940. You know what I mean? This area here, it doesn't really matter where it bounces from, but it will bounce from here if it starts to go to a new low. Otherwise, it's just going to hold roughly where it is here, 1990, 2000, curl and just go back up. Curl and go back up. And if it does, I see resistance here, 2040. And if that acts resistance, if we go higher, then the last resistance I really see is 2080, because after this area, a close above here, 2070, 2080, of course, you have the last high. Wow, that's nice and straight. But I don't see this really as major resistance. Yes, it will act as resistance for 1 or 2 days, but once you're playing all the way over here, it's inevitable. So gold, let's see. It needs to curl. Obviously, the DXY will play a role. Silver, unfortunately, has been a little weaker than gold. I mean, all the way back down, pretty disappointing stuff. But, if gold curls, silver will curl. Silver will move up higher than gold. In my opinion, it should. So the support I've got is down here, 22.22. Otherwise, down here, just below 22. 22 hasn't actually been support for some time, for like a long time, actually. For some strange reason, that round number doesn't count. So yeah, 22.2, otherwise 21.8. Otherwise, over here, this will be strong support because of this support here and also this ascending, which has been forming for a long, long time. So that should be very strong support in case it gets down there. But if that happens, I mean, gold's probably below 1900. I didn't see that happening. So that's what I've got for support. And on the way up, this is not really obvious resistance, but it's a big round number and it was resistance back here. But looking at this area here, it wasn't resistance here. So it could just ignore 25 and go all the way up to 26, just below 26. So that's what I see for support, gold, silver. Let's look at the miners before we can finally jump into the actual portfolio update. So now the miners for me actually outperform the metals. You can see this used to be the resistance we were fighting for, 36 on the GDXJ. It's acted perfectly as support. So a curl in gold and silver, and we will rise back up. Next resistance is 39.5 on GDXJ. If we start to close below this 36, then you have a bit of a gap here. Let's call it 34.5 to close it. Otherwise, just below 34, round number, not big round number, but also this ascending support. So yeah, let's just go through the levels, 39.5, 36, let's say 34.5 and 34. That's what I see for GDXJ. GDX is actually a little weaker. We went a bit lower. 30 was the same as 36 on GDX, equivalent to GDXJ. But look, we ventured below that, so it hit another mini level. So I'm going to say basically the last low on Friday, let's call it 29.5. That'll be a level. Otherwise, the gap closed 28.5. Nice number. And if we go a little lower than the low of this candle, this candle, which coincides with the ascending, that is what I see, 28, big round number. So this should be serious support, more than it seems, if you know what I mean. Got two candles, you got a round number, and you got ascending support. So, and that's after a gap fill. So, 3 or 4 mini levels on the way down. If we start to see a move down to, let's say, 1935, 1940, an extra $50 down in gold. That's what I see. I'm pretty sure that's accurate stuff. Now, let's go to the portfolio review. So Newmont, calm down, right? We've had this nice 41, which was resistance. I didn't see 40 to resistance when we started to move up, and indeed we went straight through 40. That was nice. So 41 of resistance. For me, honestly, I'd probably watch gold and the miners and maybe even silver to time Newmont if I wanted to go back in. I've added during these days, so I'm okay. I'm heavy. I don't mind going heavier. I really think we're going to curl and go up. So I don't actually mind just putting more and more sidelines to work. I've had about a third to half of, no, not half, let's say between 30 and 40% of all of my assets in cash for a long, long time. I do not mind putting some of that into miners if we drop more. I've been doing that. I've just made the decision. That's it. Like, it's time to put a bit of a stand. So I've added, I'm not in a rush to add more. If we start to go lower, I'll probably watch the GDX levels. Otherwise, I see this on Newmont, let's say 38 on the way down. If we keep going down, again, I'll be watching the ETFs. Maybe down here, 36, you can see the low here. I think a retest of this would take it too low. Maybe actually 36, if it actually gets down here, it probably coincide with a retest of the descending breakout. So maybe 36, be very surprised it goes down to 36. That's a 10% drop. So you probably have to see a big move down in gold, $50 at least. Otherwise, yeah, 38, I think it could bounce on 38. Now on the way up, we just need to take out 41. And then it's the same as I've said for a couple of weeks now. You take out 41, you start to move up to 44. This could happen quickly, huh? 2 days and you're up here. 2 good days, obviously. And then you can start testing this descending and the 44 zone, resistance here, the horizontal. So a close above that, and you're really going to squeeze a bit, because let's remember where we are. Let's remember where gold is and what gold will probably be doing if we are breaking out of this descending. You're probably talking about gold at 2,100. So let's be realistic. There could be a big squeeze even in a big stock like this. So that's Newmont, Barrick Gold. Okay, retest looks pretty similar to GDX. Obviously, this sort of 1650 zone, that was, resistance. So we dropped back down, coinciding with GDX. If it goes lower, again, I'd probably look at GDX chart for this, a bit of gold, and you could also put in your own ascending. So probably, yeah, down here, look at these 3 candles coinciding. So, and big round number 16, I'd say 16 is good support, because you could get to 1640 quite quickly. So I'd say 16, you got a bit of a gap. So around here, if I wanted to add, now on the way up, obviously we want to close above 18, but to be honest, even 17, No, let's just say 18. You know, if we start to move up, this is nice. This will obviously be resistance. This is where we hit resistance last time. Also coincide with this nice horizontal. So I would say, look, let's close above 18, and then you can say up we go to 20. So that's Barrick Gold, Agnico-Eagle. Yeah, they all look quite similar, don't they? Didn't really retest. You could say this, you know, the highs over here. Okay, so I mean, obviously it's all following GDX. So if we start to go lower, I should really draw this. There you go. And you've also got a gap fill here. They've all got the same charts. I like that though, you know, buying individual stocks that follow the GDX and hopefully outperform it. It's just a good way of convincingly playing the miners. So if we go lower, we could venture into this gap fill 40, let's say 49 should be quite a good buy. 49. Ascending, plus you're in the middle of the gap towards the bottom part. Could go a little lower if it gets there. And this is a very good stock. So this is definitely a buy the dip candidate for me. But I'm in these 4 at the top. They're my heaviest holdings. They're all the same. They're solid. So even if it goes down to 49, I've probably still worth quite a lot. I probably nibble small amount in as long as all the stars are aligning. Pan American Silver, this has come down. Didn't bounce that much compared to the others, right? Closed near low of day. I mean, obviously it's more of a silver play, and silver really got dramatically smashed. So I can understand that. Very strong stock though. I mean, really, especially this day here, I was expecting more continuation, but you know, down goes the metal and the sector, so it has to go down. Well, the ascending here doesn't work. If it goes down to 14.4, these 2 candles here, I think that would be very strong. But actually, where it is pretty strong. If silver starts to go down and test the bottom of its range, I don't know, 1440 or lower is just a great buy. I mean, look where we are. It's the same. Buying here is the same as buying 1440. There's no difference. You know, you zoom out and go on holiday and come back after 7 weeks. Whether you bought here 10% higher or 20% lower, it's the same area. But anyway, yeah, I think 1440 is quite good. But actually, this one I'd probably watch silver and GDX. You know, why make it hard for yourself? Those 2 combined should really give the answer, the timing for the reversal. But what we really, and obviously the absolute low down here, 13 point, let's say 1310, 1320 really is the absolute low. But even down here, I doubt we'll get there. 1350 should be a strong buy zone. This general area obviously is super strong. So if we do go below 1440, anywhere in the 13th is good. Now, if we start to close above 16, especially 1620, I think we'll get to 17 very quickly, very easily. And a close above 17 really should, you know, should start to get the attention of a lot of people, because that should start looking like a squeeze candidate. And that's a big stock to squeeze. So very happy holding Pan American Silver long term. Okay, Wheaton is one that I've sold more. It's like the only one I'm really selling. I'm trying to avoid selling because I have this habit of selling because the technicals are just calling for me to sell, and I sell very small amounts, and I'm buying more than I sold. And actually recently I bought higher than I sold because I decided to be more strategically long term. But Wheaton is the one stock that I am selling overall, like net. And that's because I just see, you know, look, it was down 1% on a day where all the others were down 1.5, 2, 2.5, almost 3. So very happy holding this, going down less than the others. And that's the point of me holding Wheaton. It's a very defensive stock. It goes down less, but it goes up less. Actually, it's gone up kind of the same as the others. So I've been a bit lucky. But I think those days are numbered. I think it's going to go up less and down less, but I think we're going up. So I'm looking to completely end my holdings in Wheaton, and I sold a third of my position on this move. I forgot where, higher than where it is now, but I haven't bought. Normally I'd buy back, but I haven't bought back. I've bought back others. So the plan is, if everything goes up, the others that I bought will go up more than this one. So it was better buying the others than this one. And when this goes up, and I think it will go all the way up to 52, 53. I'm going to sell it all, even though I think it's going high. It's just because those proceeds, like I've just said, they're going to get more profits if they were spread into the other stocks. So I just feel like Wheaton is just not going to do as much as it's already done. It's done a great job. But look, 10%, 20% to the absolute highest. If I choose any of these, you make that within, 2 centimeters. It's just, look at that, it's 15, 20, and then, that's just a breakout. So yeah, Wheaton, very happy, still happy. I said I was going to liquidate it. We went up, I sold a little bit, but yeah, my plan is to liquidate it really, really soon, especially if we move up. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I could just do a little ascending here. As usual, this is strong on the way down. For me, this level here, 45 point, let's say 5 or just above, that should be strong, not strong support, but support. I mean, it's resistance, so it'd be support. Also, you got this ascending, so here should be a good buy zone, but I won't be buying. I won't be buying for the reasons I just said. And resistance, actually, I can change it. Resistance is now here. Prior high, so let's call it just below 50, 49.5. And funny enough, 50 is not resistance. You'd expect it to be maybe a bit of 51 and a bit of 52.5, the old highs over here. So I might trim a little bit here, like a half out here and then half out all the way over here. Unless I really think it's going to run like everything's going up, then I'll let it ride a bit more and try and time the top and dump it when I think there's going to be a little intraday reversal, and then I'll try and catch something else. Okay, Franco Nevada, I bought it. Now, this one for me is just a monster stock. It's a bit of a Newmont. I don't really understand it too well. I know it's like the owner of Gold, I think, used to have it. It's like a royalty beast. It's just one of those stocks that, a bit like Wheaton, no matter how much the gold price is going down, this thing would just not go down. Like all the others, the chart goes down, down, down. This one was just holding up. And I just noticed it was going down. I didn't really realize why. And then I saw the support lines, and I don't really care about news. I know this is a monster stock. I know this is great support. I actually had another support, or the one I just deleted, another support line here. It went straight through that. And then I saw, wow, we're hitting real long-term support here. And if it goes lower, look at this. You've got this sort of horizontal zone from here. Also, look at this ascending, very strong support. Maybe it's off by a bit. Whatever, this is the same thing. Just under 100, let's say 95, very strong support. So I entered with about a third of what my big boys are worth, or maybe 2/5. If it goes lower, I'm going to add again, and then it'll be worth like, I don't know, half of these big boys. And if it starts to flush, then I'll get the March 2020 low. Now, I do think I know why it's gone down. I think there was some problems with Panama, some government, which is ruining the operations, and that's bad. But I think that's, justified the price down, like the stock has gone down for that. And as usual, big stocks tend to rally. So I don't want to say I've got a very long-term position. I just thought this is a very safe miner to get on the way down. And I just thought it was going down less than the others. And I mean, look what happened on Friday. It's up 1% when the others are down. So I bought it on Thursday here. I forgot where did I buy it? I think it was 107 actually. 107 something, whatever, it's the same thing. But yeah, I think it go to 117, 120. To be honest, if everything rallies, it'll probably go all the way back up to 130 or something. And then I'll get out and get into something else maybe. I don't really want to hold this long term because I don't like it when you've got this jurisdictional, geographic, political stuff going on. And, you've got jurisdictional problems in all these miners, actually. It's a bit of a headache. But anyway, Franco Nevada is an absolute beast. I entered it because of the technicals, and I think that is self-explanatory. And I've got a plan in case it goes lower. In fact, I wanted to go lower because that was just it's a pretty hard entry, but it was a first tranche, if you will. Okay, let's go to the more aggressive ones. First Majestic, Silver. Silver's come down a lot. First Majestic has not gone down that much. Remember what Silver's done. First Majestic down what? Not even 10%. And Silver is down. I mean, I don't know about percentage terms, but whoops. Actually, this is the same thing anyway. I mean, look at this. Down 7.5%. This is not spot. Normally I'm looking at spot, sorry. But it's the same thing. Actually, it might be worse. From the absolute highs, why not? Yeah, look at that. 11. I mean, First Majestic is down less than Silver. Go on, even up here, the absolute peak. Yeah, I could feel that. I didn't even know that, but I could feel that. That is amazing. That is absolute outperformance. It should be down double Silver. But I think the bottom is in. Look, we had this bad news. I bought this, very proud of that. reversed, went up, took out the descending, kept going. There was more lines of resistance, took them out. We've retested this huge descending. Look at that. And now what do I think? Well, obviously it depends, but I think we're going to curl with the metals, and this will bounce really quickly. First Majestic is okay. It wasn't the best Friday, but silver's getting smashed. It's just outperforming. I just feel it. You know, all the silver ones, EXKs, maybe I'll get to that. It's a bit of a nuisance, but they're all, they're down like 2%, 2.5%. At one point, they're down 4%, 5%, and then they bounce and they're down 2.5% by the end of the day. And there's something strong about them. You know, they're no longer weak and they're outperforming. I just feel like you have one or two good silver days, and there will be one or two good silver days, especially a bounce is due, and you're going to be all the way back up here above 6. And I think First Majestic is going to squeeze. I think it's already done what it needs to do to like technical damage to the shorts. And if you start to, I mean, look, on the way down, where are the levels? I don't know. I'll probably just look at silver and the GDX because the ascending doesn't work, and here it's not incredibly obvious. Maybe here 540, but I just feel like it's going to go up. And if you do, there's only one resistance, 620, the old high, maybe a little bit here, 609, even 6 is nothing, just 609, 620, that's all done on the same day. And then once you close above 620, 630, let's say, I mean, I don't even know if this will really count. It should, but 640, touch it, retest here, and then bam, you're in squeeze mode, a bit like Pan American Silver. Those two really look similar. So yeah, First Majestic, I'm very optimistic about this one. All right, Fortuna, another stock I accidentally deleted, very annoying. Fortuna looks good. Fortuna has come down, but we know what silver's done. Look how much of a meteoric move up it's done. It had good earnings, so that was nice. Down it went, you know, bounced off its lows. Next resistance, well, actually, it's up here now, isn't it? It's not what the prior candles were. That counted on the first initial move up here, but now we can recalibrate. So let's say $4, because 404 is pretty much $4. I'll leave it there anyway. So up we go. Test 4. If we can close above 4, we've got this little 420. To be honest, 420 is always resist. I mean, 20 cents after you cross the dollar unit in any stock is always, I always sell 90. It's just some ladder theory that seems to work. If we go lower, I think this descending, we still haven't retested it. So that's one thing that the other stocks don't all have. So they retested this descending breakout, maybe 340, 340-ish. If it goes lower than this old resistance, yeah, here, let's say 320. I don't know. It'd take a lot to go down here. You need silver to actually undo all of its pop. So I don't know if it'll go that low, but this is a good buy. The dip candidate had good earnings. It's had a big, strong move. So if it goes lower, it's a good buy. Now, yeah, and that's it. Retest descending, go lower down here. I don't think we need to talk about another support level down here. That's for some colossal crash happening everywhere. Otherwise, on the way up, above 420, and then boom, squeezy. All right, EXK. EXK is just the most disappointing stock I own. It's just, you know, all the way back down. It did, I mean, it was green, whereas the others were red, but wow, you know, it just didn't move that much up. And I actually bought into it. I thought it was going to move up. I added to my EXK rather than normally selling it. I just thought there's no point in selling here. It's so close to lows. And I bought this drop on this big hammer day. So, but it's just, you know, all the others moved a lot. This one didn't. And then it flushed. It's just really disappointing. But at least I had a green close. Just needs to close above this horizontal. Forget this descending breakout. I'm not impressed until it closes above 230. At least 230, and then we can start to see if we can, you know, get to 280 or something up here. So EXK, I wouldn't buy this. I don't like to buy stuff that's really weak. Some of them are weak for a reason. I don't really understand the fundamentals. Why? I mean, maybe there's a big reason it's flushing, but I want to see a close above here, then move higher. If it closes below 180, if silver starts to drop, then well, then I guess it's the levels I've already drawn before. What's that? 140-ish down here. And then the absolute lows of lows, the Corona, $1. There I would add. And I would try and get out on a big pop back to 2 or something. But we're far from that. But still, come on, let's get close above 230, for God's sake. All right, Coeur d'Alene. Much prefer this one. Look at this. Look at that flagging. Look how much silver has come down. Told you about Coeur d'Alene. It's the beast. Normally, it does poorly when silver goes down, but it does very well all the time when silver goes up. Except this time, it's staying up. Look, silver's down 11% or whatever it was. What's this down from its absolute peak? It's down, what, 5%? That's beautiful. This thing, if silver starts to reverse and go up, this thing is going to just, this is squeezing. It's in the middle of a squeeze. I mean, already that's a pretty parabolic move from the bottom. It doesn't look like much, but that's 50% more. We start to close above 320. We'll go straight to 340, sideways for 1 or 2 hours, close above 340, and bam, we're going to go past 4 pretty quickly. We need silver to move whilst we still have this momentum, but this is basically a flagging squeeze. So CD is the best one. And on the way down, I don't want to talk negative right now. I'm getting really excited, but if it was to close it below 290, it'd probably come down more than just here. It might, I don't know, maybe this little gap area 260, that'd be a bit annoying, but it would still be outperforming all the others, I guess, because that would probably mean silver's really lost its luster. But I don't really want to talk about a drop. Yeah, 260 and then maybe the old level of 240. But I'm looking for this bounce in silver and a continuation in the silver squeeze. It's a silver squeeze in Coeur d'Alene. 320, 340, and then no idea, maybe here. I don't know. I wouldn't care. I'd just be too excited. Then I might be trimming because this will be worth a lot very quickly. This is actually already almost worth the same as this. It's worth 4/5 of these guys up here. And that's because I haven't sold and it's made a huge move and it's worth a lot. And that's what it does all the time. So if it starts to move here, I might be selling, even if it's not near resistance, just because it's going to be worth way too much, which is a good problem to have. All right, Discovery, another one I've lost from my list. This one I did buy back. I bought back because of the descending retest around 60. Yeah, around 60. So look, we moved all the way up. This one really did a bit of a late squeeze and I called it very nicely. Very happy about that. And here we are. We hit basically 70. I sold into that because it was too much of a move. And I rebought what I sold. Old school. Very happy I did it. Now, this, I think it could do it because this is a perfect chart. For me, this is as good as it gets. Look at these channels, these horizontals, just separating the levels perfectly. Then we have this little double bottom, up we go, descending breakout, test this, retest of the descending breakout. Now what we really need to make this literally a case study in technical trading, let's say, is a retest of here, where I would normally sell what I bought here, but I might not do it. I don't know, we'll see. And then cup and handle breakout, and up we go. Up we go. I don't care about this line here, because hopefully silver's really making a move. I mean, that would be perfect. If gold and silver really do move up, this would make me so much money. This could even outdo CDE, just short term. Because, again, it's been destroyed. It's a good stock. And, you know, a retest of $1 is reasonable. And that's a huge move. I mean, already it's done a big move from 40 cents, but, you know, it'd be 150%. And just from where it is now, if it was to bounce and go back up, it's, you know, 70% move. And I think it's reasonable to expect that, you know. Those days of me saying, oh, if it goes all the way back up to its old highs of $2, it equals, you know, 300% or whatever it is. I don't do that anymore. I just stay realistic, short term, look a couple of weeks out, a couple of months. But I don't dream anymore because it's just, there's no point. Anyway, that's it. Retest. If it keeps going lower, you've got the horizontal levels. So 54, if it goes even lower, probably the low of this candle. I don't see that happening. So let's just say on the way down, 54, if we keep going lower with silver, that means silver redoing the whole move. If we go higher, I'd expect just under 70, not 70 itself, probably, honestly, probably 68.39 or something. It's probably where I'd sell if I really wanted to. You got to be really, really cheeky. And if it keeps going up, honestly, I don't know. I suppose normally I would say this because it's the last level, but it might just squeeze more and go all the way up to 88 or something, 87. We'll see. I'd love that. Okay, those are my main. Now I'm going to go through my miscellaneous ones. So Aris Mining. Yeah, look at this. The technicals are working beautifully here. Look at this here, 340 is resistance. Obviously, look at this last high. You can see it tested it once, twice, 3 times. You could say even 4 times. It's just 4 cents off. And then down here, look how many times it hits this level here, 310. Doesn't even hit 3. See, sometimes the big round numbers are not the levels. Why? Because of this level here. It's beautiful. Normally, I would buy this back, but I haven't done that. I've got a very strong amount in here. I think I was expecting a bigger drop because some of them have dropped a lot, but this one's very strong, and I've felt that for a while. It actually broke out before everything else. So then it underperformed whilst the metals continued to break out, but it's fine. Now it's sort of equalized a little bit, and I think it's ready for a curl. And I think if the metals curl, this will go back up. 340 should be resistance. I'm not selling there. I've already sold there. I haven't bought back because I got too much in. So I'll leave it. Then if it continues and breaks higher, I think I do have my next sell at 360 just because it's worth too much. And by then it'll be worth a little too much. And after this, it's a bit of a blue skies. Normally you'd think $4, but a bit like $3, it just isn't resistance. I don't see it at all. I see maybe here. Why? Because look, it retested there, and then here it came down. So I feel like 420. And remember, I keep saying 20, the ladder, the 20 cents after the unit breakout is always a bit of a zone. So 419 is usually where I'd sell. But really, after that, it's 480. So I'd sell 47, 478, 479. So yeah, I'm looking for a 360 close above that, where I would have trimmed a tiny bit, little 3% out, 4-5% out, whatever, just to let them know I was there. And then up it goes. And then we'll see. After that, I'm probably a millionaire or something. So let's see. Okay, that's Aris mining on the way down. It's just that horizontal level. If it keeps going lower, then obviously that's just not going to happen because it didn't even go down as gold went to 1880. But I'd probably draw this and buy the drop. That I would buy because this is very strong. Okay, mag silver, not really a fan of this one. One I'll probably get rid of. It did break out. It was nice to see. Came back down quite a bit. Fair enough. Silver came down also, pretty much matching silver, which is okay because it's a miner. You'd expect it to do more on the way down than silver. So it should bounce now, right? Retested the descending breakout. I'm not buying it because I don't like the mine, but normally if this was a stock I'd love, I'd buy this here. But look at that close near low of day, unlike many others. It should go back up. Old high will be resistant. So let's say 12 to 12.15. I'm just going to say 12.15. And then you got this descending. You look where it comes from, all the way down here. So, if you can close above 12.20, it should really go straight through the descending. And then here, it's not too obvious where resistance will be. It kind of depends. I'd probably be watching GDX and silver for this one. But because I would want to liquidate this one. I think if we do have a squeeze, let's just dream a little bit. If we did have a squeeze went all the way up to 17, I would just get rid of it there. I'd be like, all right, I made all my money back because I'm down on this one. Thank you. Take the money and run. And if I want to reinvest the proceeds, I'll do it in another stock. I prefer Pan American Silver. I'd prefer First Majestic, Newmont, Franco Nevada. I'd even prefer Wheaton. But this one is just, there's just too much resistance on it. It just don't go up as much. So yeah, if it was to keep going down, I guess the next level is $10, big round number, also kind of support. But I wouldn't add it. I would be adding others because if this goes down to 10, it's probably because the whole sector's down and there are better buys out there. So that's mag silver. Now let's look at Gogold. Sorry, Gogold, GLGDF. Okay, hit resistance perfectly, technically perfectly. Came down just below $1 now. I guess the retest of the descending is a level. If it keeps going lower, then I would say this area here, 85. But I wouldn't be adding because this one is just one I bought late when everything was popping a while ago. I forgot where I bought it now. And I wanted just some late runner. And then instead everything came down. Remember, gold went down to 1810. And to be fair, it didn't go down too much, but it hasn't popped either too much. So I'm just looking for the whole sector to run as gold passes 2100. And this one, I'll just liquidate also. This one and mag silver, I'll get rid of. Also Wheaton. I've got like 4 or 5. I've also got a bunch of juniors that I never cover. I'm going to liquidate those. I'm just waiting for the pop. And I just want to hold like 15, 20 most, at most, probably 15 or something, just solid ones. And I don't care about the juniors and the micro caps. Oh, they can do 300%. I don't care because I can make 100 and maybe even 200% in a lot of these big names. And you just, the risk reward of the smaller ones is just not there. So this is one I'd probably liquidate. All right, K92. This one reminds me of Gogold, but you can see it's flagging a lot higher, so it's outperformed. It hasn't come down as much, at least. So this was a nice move from here. I think the technical levels are. This one's not as obvious. I'm just going to do an average here-ish, middle of the channel, between this channel, pretty much an average. But you can see it's flagging pretty high, hasn't come down much, and the close is quite good, right? Pretty much unchanged on a day where silver was down like 3.5% or something. So let's just see if we can close above 6. This should just run back to this area here, the old high of this horizontal line. Let's call it 660-ish, 665, an average. And there you should start encountering the descending. So this will be resistance. This I will sell because K92, a bit like Gogold, not the biggest fan. I used to love it. I used to read about it. A bit like Franco Nevada, just one that would stay up, but, you know, came down. I expected to be able to make this move on a bounce quite quickly, maybe in 1 week. So up it goes here. I'll just trim probably half out. And if it continues, I'll just close the whole position and then reinvest it in the other ones that I like more. So this one I'm quite happy with. It hasn't come down much. And I think I'm in the black in this one already. Because again, I bought this one late for a squeeze and in the end gold went down. But it's, I don't know. But if it goes up here, I'm definitely in the black. And I'm going to close this one in the black, definitely on any move up. Okay, Metalla. This one bought all the way down here very nicely. It popped, it came back. That it actually popped before the moving goal, I think, or as it started to move up. So as the move continued, it had already used up its initial energy, so it went backwards. And I expect this to pop again, actually. I think where it is now is a good buy zone, actually. I think you've got a bit of resistance here because of these candles. I think got a bit of a gap. So where it is now is a bit of a buy. Also just above 3. 3 is a big round number. So I think it's a bit of a buy here, especially if the metals reverse. It's something I should consider. So, you know, if everything moves and this is delayed, or maybe I want to swap what I have in MAG or K92, I prefer Metalla Royalty. I think it's come down more and I think it's more likely to move up more. And in, you know, 1 year from now, I'd expect it at 8 or 10 or something. So, which would be a great move. Like Wheaton, for example. Why don't I sell Wheaton and buy Metalla? Perfect example. Look at Wheaton. Also royalty, streaming, all the way up here. If everything comes down, yeah, it won't go down that much. But Metalla won't exactly move down that much either. So, but on the way up, Metalla could do several 100% moves. Wheaton can do maximum 20. So I might just literally swap everything I got from Wheaton and maybe put half it in Metalla and the other half spread it amongst the other top 4. And that's what it's about, you know. It's not just about technicals. It's like risk management and just being a bit strategic. So that's something I will make a note of and consider after this video. Otherwise, on the way down, gap fill, we have 290 and then all the way down here otherwise. And there, trust me, I will be buying. On the way up, we have this 340-ish resistance, at which point you've taken out the descending. Remember, we didn't take it out on this move down, you know, went all the way up to this horizontal. This perfect technicals, by the way. Prior support, now resistance, codes double resistance. So a close above 340, and we are running to fall. And I better be in it more than I already am. Okay, I'm done, except I actually bought this one here. Subscriber brought it to my attention. And I'd actually been watching this one a while ago and I didn't realize it'd come all the way back down. So now that's why I'm covering platinum and palladium, because I believe this is a platinum and palladium play. I mean, look at this beautiful descending squeeze just waiting to happen. I bought this at 470 or something like this. I think whatever, here, it's the same thing. Once, okay, a little gap here. If we close above 5, maybe in case I'm wrong by a few millimeters, let's just say 520. This thing could squeeze. I mean, it hasn't squeezed in a long time, so I don't really want to say as if it's guaranteed, but this could squeeze like a lot. 5 to 6 is like 1 centimeter on this chart, but it's, you know, 20%. There you go. That's the maximum Wheaton can do. This would probably do it in an hour. So this is a serious buy. Now, if it comes back down, I really don't mind, because we're talking about absolute lows of Corona. And you know, platinum and palladium, I'm not going to show the charts. I showed them in my last video. They look a bit like this, especially palladium, I think. So this is more of a palladium play, probably. I don't know where this will squeeze to, but this is my favorite kind of chart to play. So, you know, let's see. And also look, it's up 2.3% on a bit of a red day. It's, yeah, I just feel like this is going to squeeze. So I own about, it's the same. I added Franco Nevada and this one on the same day, or the same 2 days, let's say, and they're worth the same. And if I double my position there, maximum allocation, let's say, so this comes back down again, I'm gonna double my position in this, and then that's it. That's the whole position. I usually do like 5 tranches, but this one I went in pretty heavy because I'm pretty sure that this is gonna pop. So this is my latest addition. Welcome to the party. It's not a gold and silver one, but it's still precious metals. And, you know, if the dollar goes down, commodities go up, and that's it, that we're all in the same boat. So this one, I look forward to it popping, but I need to remember it's not gold and silver exactly. Okay, now I'll cover subscriber stuff. So, oh, by the way, on the way down, COVID low of 3.5, $4 first, right? The old low of 4, then 3.5, and I'm not going to cover after that. After that, it's 2 or something. It's 3 and then 2. We'll see. On the way up, honestly, I find it quite hard to tell. 6 could be mini resistance. 7 is bigger resistance. Look at this, and then 8 should be the biggest resistance because it's going further out. Like, look, this is from September 2022. Yeah, it's every unit is pretty much resistance, but I feel like 8 is pretty big. After that, I'd say it's 10, but I mean, I don't expect 100% move straight away. So looks good. All right, Eldorado. This one has been outperforming for some time. Went straight up. Look at this resistance. Why did I not have that? 13.5. You can see here. It's an, I don't want to say a big round number but it's a halfway point, the 0.5s, and look, it's that did it, touched it, kissed it. I'd say come back down to here, pretty much what it's done already. 12.25. All right, it didn't go down to 12. And look, closed decently off its lows. So, but this is outperforming. Look at this move. It's really not come down too much, hasn't given too much away. So for me, resistance is 13.5, the last high. Then you'll get it here, 14.5. Let's just move it down a bit. It's on the way up, 13.5, 14.5. I don't see 14 as really resistance. On the way down, 12, and then 11.5, and then probably all the way down to 10.5 or just below. But it looks good. You know, if the metals keep going, this will, especially if you close above 14.5, it could run all the way up to 19. Beautiful. All right, Hecla. Yeah, look at this. So this line here, it was a bit of resistance, but then, you know, we kept going, so up it went, and then it's the descending. It closed above it, but then bam, straight back down. The metals go down. You can't just keep going just because you closed above your own individual descending line. If gold's flushing by $30, I'm sorry, you're gonna have a red day. But look, it's still hovering pretty high. I don't want to say that this is really a zone, but look, it was this high. Yeah, well, I will say it's a zone. And anyway, that was the low from Friday. So this is a mini support zone. If it keeps going down, 4.4, I don't know, and it doesn't have an ascending. Just watch GDX and silver for this one. So on the way down, you've got basically the low of Friday, let's say 4.6. On the way up, 5 point whatever the high was, 1.3-ish. This doesn't count anymore. There you go. The descending doesn't really count. I'll leave it, but I actually don't think it counts either. I'm just going to leave it because it's good geometry. Okay, last B2 Gold, a request from a customer. Oh, this is what I thought would happen if we kept going up. That's obviously not what's happened. Down, it's gone. And actually, this is it's quite weak because, okay, this is decent, you know, but it came from the absolute abyss, so it needed a pump. But, you know, we had the whole sector go up, so it pumped, didn't take out this. A close above this would have really been good. A close above this level here, and it still needs to do that. Let's say 3.5, a close above that, and then, yeah, then you can run up here. But for now, look at the drop. The drop's not great either. That's a bit of a drop from the absolute move up, matching silver's move. Now, the one thing is you got this ascending, but we're pretty close to that. And it did close off its low. So I would say 3 is a good support. And if we visit 3 again, it's because the silver's going all the way back down. Gold and silver have dropped. You know, so if gold's going to drop $50, we could go all the way down to 295, which is the same thing, to be honest. Yeah, this is not a strong chart, though. It just needs a bit more time. Look at that absolute low. This is a good buy. The low from there is the low from there, so that's good. And then you've got this long-term ascending coming in. Also the COVID lows. So the 2s are good. The like mid to low 2s are very strong. But for now, not the best chart. We just need to consolidate more and then close up, basically close above 3.5. And then you can do this move. I'm going to get rid of this. It's old stuff now. Anyway, that's it. I know it took time. Sorry, I tried to go through them quickly, but without missing key details. That's quite a few stocks, and I cover some that are not even on this list because I accidentally deleted them. So yeah, let me know if there are any that you want me to cover, but I hope you enjoyed that. Comment, like, share, all that stuff, and have a wonderful weekend and good luck next week.